been nothing but great working with the 3dcart team, and we're looking forward to serving the 3dcart customers, starting with our webinar today, which is all about understanding whether you're ready for that holiday sales madness. And basically today we're going to have two parts to the presentation here. First is how to take advantage of this holiday sales madness and how to be ready for it. And so in how to take advantage, we'll go through some tips for increasing holiday sales, how to manage multiple channels with Ordoro, and then in terms of being ready, we'll go through some inventory tips for forecasting and how to streamline your fulfillment with Ordoro, how to streamline those back order processes. So about taking advantage, well, e-commerce holiday sales are outgrowing brick and mortar. I mean, last year we saw 12% growth versus 2009, and again this year it's expected to grow from 12 to 14%. And what's interesting is that these hard economic times have actually been helpful for e-commerce because consumers that want, a quick and easy way to compare prices and get the best deals are going to the internet for that. So really it's e-commerce's time to take advantage of this growth. And to do that, to boost your sales, we've got a couple of tips, and this is from a great article from HubSpot, which just for everyone there, general knowledge, it's a great resource for inbound marketing knowledge. And there are 4 tips here. The first one is to write blog posts that are optimized for the word holiday. So, for example, if you're selling shoes, writing a blog post that says, "Hey, three great tennis shoes for boys' Christmas presents," or 5 reasons UGG boots are going to dominate Christmas presents this year, and by doing that and writing those blog posts, the important thing is at the end to have a call to action and say, "Hey, check out the UGG boots on my site," and then build specific landing pages targeted towards that holiday traffic, so that you can have time-sensitive incentives, price incentives in those landing pages. For example, if you buy more than $100 by Black Monday, you get free shipping, and you can even have different landing pages, one that's for Christmas presents for women, ideas for Christmas presents for boys, and really target your customers and drive them to those landing pages where you offer these time-sensitive promotions. Next is to, send holiday marketing emails. Maybe some customers have come to your site, they really like your products, but they haven't committed to buying them yet. However, they still subscribe. That's a great time to reach out to those customers with promotions, and to also reward your existing customer base with exclusive promotions for the holidays. And then last but not least, it's to monitor and promote your brand and products in social media with holiday keywords. So from the marketing sales from, just a couple of takeaways is it's great to build those holiday specific landing pages, and then write blogs that drive people to those pages, send emails that drive people to those pages, and have time sensitive promotions on those pages that will drive your customers to actually purchase. So that's from the marketing front. Another way to increase your sales and take advantage of the holiday sales, and not just for the holidays, anytime, it's to increase your presence. And this is because marketplaces like eBay, Amazon, and Buy.com, for example, account for almost 30% of all online retail sales. These are huge marketplaces with lots and lots of huge customer base, and there are a lot of advantages to increasing your presence through these channels. One is, the access to the large customer base. Amazon, for example, has about 1.5 million visitors per day, and I think eBay has over 90 million active users. So That's a lot of eyeballs on your product, and you can also use it to increase traffic to your site. And I know that that's tricky. It's very tricky to do because these marketplaces, restrict. They want you to sell on the marketplace, not to basically take traffic to your site. But the fact of the matter is that as soon as you engage a customer through these channels, they might have a question that you can reply to. They'll see in your email the URL for your site, or you can send them a link to more information on your site at that time. And at the end of the day, and this is an insight that I got from one of our existing customers, and she said, at the end of the day, it might cost me a little bit more to sell on these channels because, of course, they take a percentage of the revenue. But any customer that I get to keep. And then that's a customer that, is going to continue to come to my site, and it allows us to engage customers that wouldn't find us through search. It's just a way to, expose your products to a much larger customer base, engage them as customers, and then get to keep them as customers. But of course, there are some challenges with selling on multiple channels, and this might be a cost for some people, having said I'm not going to do that yet. And that is that order management. Now you have to not just manage the orders from your cart, but you might also have to manage orders from eBay and Amazon. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, there was a little bit of a staticky hiss there for a second. It seems to be a little bit better. Actually, it looks like it's returned. There we go. That's much better.
Okay, all right. Okay, so order management, now you're going to have to manage orders from multiple channels, and then inventory management, you have to keep your inventory in sync between all the channels, and that can really be a headache. So we're going to, we're going to do a quick web poll here just to see how many of you are selling through multiple channels today. And I'm going to go ahead and launch this poll now. Okay, and in the interest of time, I've closed the poll. About 72% voted, and about 70% said yes, you are selling through multiple channels, and 31% said no. So I'm really curious to see what the process is for those that are selling online today through multiple channels, and this may be what your process looks like. You're selling through 3dcart, you're selling through eBay and Amazon, and you get in, let's say that you have 10 blue shirts, and you listed all 10 in all 3 channels, and you sell one through 3dcart. You're going to get an email notification saying that you've sold that shirt. Now you've got really 9 available for selling, and you have to manually go and update the inventory in all those channels. And then on top of dealing with this, you're going to have to deal with everything that happens in the back office, which is, you're going to have to copy and paste, potentially you're copying and pasting address information to generate shipping labels. You might have to email notify customers. You're also managing your suppliers up here, sending POs, but really the takeaway here is that with multi-channel, not only are you taking emails from multiple channels, but you're also, one second here, there's Okay, I think we're good to go, guys. Okay, so um, let me just recap here for a second where we were. And that is with the multi-channel nightmare here, which is when you're selling through multiple channels, you have to take orders from multiple places and update inventory also to multiple places. And to show you how Ordoro can help with that, I'm just going to go ahead and go into a store that we have set up, a demo store. And basically here what you have is orders from my 3D cart and from my Amazon store. So you can have one Ordoro account and aggregate your orders from multiple channels into one account. And you just would select download order from that channel. And then in terms of the inventory update, we automatically do that for you. So if you click on this SKU, for example, you'll see that it has upload to cart for Amazon and web store. So when you fulfill an order through Ordoro, this $9.99, your quantity on hand, automatically goes down, and it automatically updates all of your channels with the most up-to-date quantity on hand. So that's how Ordoro helps with the multi-channel, and at the end of the webinar, I'll go through a few more details on actually how to use Ordoro. But first, let's go back to our presentation and go through the are you ready for the holiday sales in terms of operationally are you ready to handle these many orders. So the first question you have to ask is, do you have enough stock? And in this case, history is really your best friend. You know, it's definitely worth your time to take, 10 minutes and reflect on last year and think, what were your best-selling items last year? Did you run out of stock? Did you overstock for the slow-moving items? And it's really important to know your 80-20 Pareto. And what we mean by this is, 20% of your products are probably responsible for 80% of your sales. And you really want to make sure that you know what that 20% is. And then here is, so basically, now that you know that 20% and you know what your best-selling items are, one thing that you can do to forecast is, at the beginning how I mentioned that growth for e-commerce in general in the holidays in 2010 was 12% versus 2009. And this year, again, it's going to be about 12 to 14%. But maybe for you, last year the growth was 16%. And, maybe it's higher than the industry average, or maybe it's lower. But it's worth figuring out what your growth was in 2010 in the holidays versus 2009, and it's probably safe to assume that it's going to be about the same this year. So you can forecast that percentage growth for this year. Of course, forecasts depend on whether you've changed something in your business this year, and only you can decide that. But that's probably a good place to start. And then once you have that forecast, you're going to want to restock early based on that forecast. So operationally, that's the number one question. You have to have enough to sell. And then the next question is, are you going to be able to get those packages out the door in time? And again, history here is your best friend. Think about last year. Were you staffed appropriately to deal with the holiday rush? Were you staffed appropriately to deal with the holiday rush? Were you able to get packages out in time? And were your customers happy? Think about, gosh, if I wasn't able to get packages out the door, what were the bottlenecks? What were the sticking points? What was taking really long to do? And think in advance about how to streamline those processes. And because you really want to guarantee a positive customer experience. And we've spoken, this is really, I think Henry mentioned it at the beginning, it's really our area of expertise is how to help online retailers streamline their back office. And we've spoken to over 400 online retailers, and a process that we see very often is, you get an order from your cart, and you probably get notified via email Then you would copy and paste that information into UPS.com or FedEx.com to get a shipping label. Then you would either email notify the customer or somehow import that tracking number back into 3dcart. You would have to update inventory into 3dcart, and then you, of course, have to deal with your suppliers. You're emailing these POs to suppliers and receiving goods. And what we've seen is that a lot of e-commerce retailers are doing this using Excel and using email, and it really results in shipping errors, information in too many places, stockouts, and back orders. So we now have another quick web poll, although I'm a little afraid to launch it. Well, let's hope the echo doesn't come back, but I'll go ahead and give it a shot. And let's see how many of you are managing your back office processes manually using Excel or email, or if you already have you know, some kind of tool or software in place to help you do this. So I'll go ahead and launch this now. Okay, and about 80% of you voted, and 71% of you mentioned that yes, you're doing these processes manually. About 30% of you have some type of tool to help you do it, which is great. So let me show you, especially for that 70% that's using manual processes, let me now show you how Ordoro can help you streamline your back office. And what I'm going to do, instead of using this existing store, is I'm going to start from scratch, which is where you would start if you were to sign up. And it really, we're 100% web-based. So what this means is you can connect to your 3dcart store in less than 3 minutes, you know, and get going here. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how that works. Make sure I get that right. And company name, 3dcart. Okay. And I'm going to select my 3dcart. Okay. So now it asks me for a store URL and an API user key. And I'm already logged in here to my 3dcart store manager. So I'm going to go to Settings, General, and Store Modules. And that's where I'm going to get that API user key. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste my URL here into my store URL. And then I'm going to go back, and where I have this API, XML Web Service Integration, click on Change Settings. Both of these need to be checked. If for some reason when you click on yours you don't see this Advanced API, just contact your 3dcart contact, and they should be able to activate it for you. So now I just need to copy and paste this user key. Enter that in here. And finish account setup, and that's it. I've already set up my Ordoro account, and it's tied to my 3dcart. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to download inventory, and here in messages you can see that it's downloading the inventory. While it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and set up my shippers so that I can show you how I generate shipping labels. I'm going to go to Indicia here, which is how we're integrated to USPS. And I'm just going to go ahead and set up my account. There it is. Now I'm going to go to Orders. And let's start the order download progress in parallel here. And I'm going to, of course, check my 3dcart. Let's get all the orders from my cart. And you can see the inventory already finished. So let's take a look at the inventory. There it is. And the orders are waiting to download. And while it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and create my location so that I can generate a shipping label. This is our ship from address, basically. So I'm going to use our office address and save that location. And okay, so it downloaded my 8 orders and my 31 items. I'm just going to go ahead and refresh. Go here to orders. And before I process an order, let me go to Store Manager and let's check and let's see which order would be new. This 1004 is new. And when you go to orders here, there's my 1004, also marked as new. What I'm going to do now is let's go ahead and create a shipment. And the first thing I'll probably want to do is print my packing list with my logo here and print this. Go pick the items, pack them. You might want to put this in the box. You can even show the location of this item in your warehouse. Once you print your packing list, then you're ready to create a shipping label. And I'm going to select USPS. And if you have your weights entered into your 3dcart, it will automatically pull them. We don't have them in 3dcart, so I had to enter it. Put in your dimensions. Let's make sure, let's see which rates are better. Priority, small rate, flat rate, box 5. Perfect. Okay, and now I'm ready to create the label. And there it is. There's my shipping label. When you select on print, what that does is it generates a PDF document that will print to any printer, whether it's thermal or desktop. And not only did you get your label ready, here it stores the tracking number. And if you go to 3dcart and look at orders, refresh your 3dcart, you see that 1004 went from new to shipped. And if you click on edit for it, you'll be able to see the tracking number right there. So basically, once you download your orders and you create that shipping label, you can forget about it. It's already talked back to 3dcart with that tracking number. If your customer ever calls back, let's see, this is I think most 100, let's go to all. And let's say that someone calls about this order, you can quickly find it and see what the history was down here. Yep, we shipped it, and this is the tracking number, and you should be getting it soon. So that's in terms of orders. How the basic functionality. Of course, we have a lot more features. You can create your own tags, so perhaps you want to keep track of which ones are back orders. And what you do is you create a custom tag and say that you don't have the item for this order. You'll just mark it as, this is a back order. And then when you go here, it'll automatically filter it to the ones that you've tagged. Those are, I don't want to overwhelm you guys with all of the functionality that Ordoro has to offer, but I did want to show you guys that it would streamline your order management functionality, and you can manage your inventory with, it's super easy. Here's the inventory on hand quantity. Here's if you have any orders with this item. It's right there. If you look, this item you're out of stock and you need to buy more, you can just select buy more, select which supplier you want. I haven't set up my suppliers yet, but you would set up your suppliers, add to PO, and boom, you can just email them the PO. And again, you can build kits. You can set low stock thresholds for each item so that then you can keep an eye on what you have to reorder. And again, you can generate POs and send them to your suppliers. So, in terms of inventory, it really, the way the whole system was designed is that when orders come in, you fill them, it automatically reduces your inventory. As you're running low, you can keep an eye on it. You can order more from your suppliers. And once you receive those POs, mark them as received, it automatically increases your inventory in Ordoro and then you simply upload to cart, and it automatically increases your inventory in your 3D cart store as well. So that's just an overview of, how Ordoro can help you streamline your business. We also have a very robust drop shipping module that can be used to automatically route your orders to your drop shippers. And yeah, that's an overview of how Ordoro can streamline your process. And if you have any questions and answers, I think we're ready to take them. We have a 15-day free trial on our site, so you can sign up for a 15-day free trial. And for webinar attendees, we're offering a special offer. We'll offer a 30-day money-back guarantee if you're not 100% satisfied after 30 days. So on top of the 15-day free trial, you get 30 more days of risk-free to try it out. And we feel extremely comfortable in making this offer because we're all about support here at Ordoro. We really work with our customers to understand their processes and what they need to streamline that back office of their online store. So if you have any questions, please do feel free to reach out to us. Our direct line is here. Here's our email. When you sign up for that free trial, you'll see that there's a huge feedback button in Ordoro where you can enter any questions, and we're very prompt to respond. So I guess at this time, open for any questions. I know that we might have had some audio difficulties there in the middle, so if you guys want me to go over a certain part again, I'll be happy to.
All right. Well, we've got a couple of questions here. Not related to the sound problems. I apologize to everybody about the sound problems. One question that came up here a couple of times so far is, does Ordoro help with drop shipping at all?
Yes, Ordoro does help with, there are many questions. Okay. Yes. Ordoro does help with drop shipping, and let me show you how that works really quickly. So let's say the first thing I'm going to have to do here real quick in my brand new account here is set up a supplier. I'll set up a supplier really quickly here. So company name, we'll do Narubi. Actually, we'll do a different address. Okay. Great. So we've got a supplier now, and you've got your orders. And let's say that you want to drop ship this order. You would take this order and create a shipment and select one for that. We're going to send to supplier for drop shipment. So it automatically chooses the supplier. If we had more, you could see other suppliers in the drop down. They'll basically receive this, which is a packing list for the items that they need with, just the necessary customer information. You can even type in instructions here, and you can decide whether you want to show the price or not show the price. And you can either print the request, or if I had set up an email address in there, which is why it didn't give me let's see, there we go. Okay. When you do have an email address tied to your supplier, then you'll be able to email that dropship request. And another thing is that if you set up a default supplier for your items down here, say for this one, you want to make this your default supplier. And you're going to say that this is not stocked in-house. This will always be a dropship item. Ordoro will automatically, when you get orders with that item, will automatically send those dropship requests to those suppliers for fulfillment. So, and so you can, either do it automatically or do it one by one, which is how I did it at the beginning. Does that answer the question?
I think so, perfectly.
Okay.
Let's see, one question that came up shortly after you started showing the shipping labels and the the packing slip. Can those be edited at all, as far as the look and feel?
The look and feel, so far what you can edit is your logo and the footer.
Okay.
So let me go back to one of them. And actually that's a great question, because we've had that request come up, and it's a feature that is on our roadmap, is to make them more customizable. So right now what you can change is your logo right here, and there's a place where you can enter a footer message. At this time, that's all the customization we have, but it's something that we're definitely thinking about improving.
Cool, cool. Let's see. Just trying to clear out some of the audio-related questions from earlier. That's what I love about our users. They were being very helpful, suggesting tips and tricks on what to try. So
Okay.
kudos to everybody out there for the suggestions. All right, here we go. Let's see. We already answered the shipping label ones. Oh, here's an interesting question. I guess they were on the site and looked at the pricing. Is the $50 for each additional web store or location a monthly or one-off charge? One-off charge.
It is a monthly charge.
Okay. Okay. Another question here. How about returns? How can I manage those?
Sure. So for returns, what you do is we have the ability to cancel orders. And so if you go here to the Orders tab, and let's say that this person is not really happy that this is going to be late and they want to cancel their order. So what you'll do is you can edit the order and simply, delete the item that was ordered, and then that will basically cancel that order.
Okay.
And you'll be able to see the orders in the cancel bucket. Now, what I've seen customers do, because obviously there's still, you will still have to refund that customer through your merchant account. And a good way to manage that process is to create a custom tag saying, let's see, needs refund. And let's select a different color for it here. Okay. And there we go. So, I'm in the warehouse. I just figured out that this order is returned. Someone else is responsible for refunding the credit card. They'll log into Ordoro later. I'm going to, tell them that this one needs refund. And when they log in, they can just go here and see, okay, here are all my orders today that were returned that need refund. And as that person actually refunds the credit card, you just X out that tag, and now you know that, that order was canceled and refunded.
Excellent. Let's see. Pardon me. The questions are coming in so fast that the little window here is kind of losing some size. Incidentally, if we miss any of the questions, what we normally do for these webinars is at the end, the webinar software allows us to capture all of the questions. So if there's something we don't answer during this Q&A portion, I send the questions to Narubi and her team, and they'll be able to follow up with everyone, make sure the questions are answered. And of course, if there's any 3D cart related questions, I'll be glad to answer them as well that way. So bear with me here while I read some of these. Okay, here's an interesting question. How does it integrate with eBay or Amazon with 3D cart?
Sure. So basically, now that you've got your 3D cart here, and let's say you want to set up an Amazon cart here as well, you would just go to shopping cart, and you would, and I hope I'm answering the question. If I'm not, let me know. But you would just add your Amazon cart, and it requires, a couple things, just the name, the merchant ID, and the market ID place. What that does, and I'm going to go ahead and switch back to that one that we had set up, because it already had an Amazon. Okay, let's see. Okay, so here, see, we already have an Amazon and a 3D cart in the same Ordoro account. And so how it works is basically you have both of your stores tied to one Ordoro account, and when you're ready to download orders, you select either your Amazon store or your 3D cart store, click, or eBay. You know, if we had eBay in here, just select which one you want. You download all of your orders, and as long as your SKUs are named the same between you know, your carts. So for example, this DC Universe Classic Batman is named the same both in Amazon and web store, then we'll automatically sync that inventory for you and through all your channels.
A related question that was asked earlier, is there a way of controlling which items go to Amazon and I guess not just Amazon, but any of the other channels? Could you selectively say, I want these items from 3dcart, but only these to go to apply to Amazon? Is that possible?
It is. So for example, this one right here, let's say that I've decided to stop listing this on Amazon. I'll just click do not upload to Amazon, only upload to 3dcart.
Awesome.
So you can definitely control your channels here.
Awesome, awesome. Ooh, here's an interesting one. Is there batch processing for the orders?
There is batch processing. I would like to, can we take another question, and
sure,
I will
sure.
show you how to do that in 5 minutes.
Sure. A little prep time.
The thing is, we have to turn on the batch processing for this account.
I gotcha. No worries. No
we've only released it for a few accounts.
I see. I see. So it is possible. Here we go. Kind of related to earlier with the returns. How does Ordoro handle the capturing and refunding of credit cards? Is that something that, or is that assumed to be taking place at the cart level?
Exactly. I guess the short answer is we don't.
I gotcha.
So there's no credit card information taken in Ordoro. The Ordoro process starts really after the order's been captured and paid for. And I did see someone's question here about what happens when the cart payment is authorized only and it hasn't been completed.
Right.
We do have a filter that automatically tags orders that have not yet been paid, so that you know not to process them. But that's as far as we go. Usually, you know, it's something that happens at the cart level, and then we take the orders into Ordoro.
Gotcha. You mentioned earlier that there's a couple of things on the roadmap. Perhaps this is one of them. Can the application cope with UK currency and VAT taxing? Are there any plans for UK shipping?
So I'm going to turn this question over to Sangram.
Okay.
Real quick. Sangram, the question is about UK shipping. Can we handle UK currency, VAT tax, and UK shipping?
So to answer the shipping question, yes, you know, we are integrated with the Postal Service and UPS, and you know, international shipping is really smooth through Ordoro, because we already have all the information that the custom forms need, and you know, we actually generate all the the custom forms that are needed to actually ship internationally. And you know, I think some of our customers have actually set up something called paperless billing with UPS, in which you don't even have to generate all these custom forms. They're electronically directly sent to UPS, and the process of doing that is of actually shipping out something internationally is really smooth. To answer the question about UK currency, the way it is set up right now is you need to set the currency that you're operating in Ordoro, and right now we just have a single currency support, if you will. what our customers do is, they basically deal in, they have all their packing list and shipping labels printed out in dollars, even when they're sending to UK, because that's more or less kind of the currency of business through the world, anyways. But the short answer is, right now we have just one currency support. We're working on a multiple currency support pretty quick.
Excellent, thank you. Let's see some other questions we might have here. Here we have a really good question. Is there any extra charge for support for Ordoro? Sometimes companies have extra charge.
Absolutely not.
Awesome.
There's no extra support, no extra cost for support. We really believe that support is a way of doing business. If you're not, we want to make sure that our customers are successful using Ordoro, and so we just kind of don't see we don't understand when there's extra cost for support, because obviously we want our customers to be as successful as possible.
Total agreement with that. It sometimes boggles the mind when companies offer support for a charge, and unfortunately the side effect that it has is that merchants sometimes have to call a related company for their support on something that company may not know about. For example, we get calls in our support queue a lot for I won't name the name, but a certain order manager that does charge for support. And unfortunately, our scope of the support is limited to, hey, does the store connect to the order manager, yes or no? Other than that, there's not much we can do. So yeah, charging for support is really not one of my favorite things. So good to know you guys don't do it.
Not ours either, for sure.
Awesome.
And a lot of times we have customers that end up calling us for questions around other things with e-commerce, and we end up learning a lot from our customers that way. So we really enjoy it.
Awesome.
And I'm actually, Henry, ready to show you how the batch processing works.
Awesome.
And so, yes. We've released this feature only for a few accounts, because we have a little bit more training to do before we release it for everyone, and that's why we had to turn it on first. But let me show you how it works. Basically, you would select all of your new orders, and you would say process orders. And for this to work, the orders either have to be 100% dropship orders, or you have to have items in stock for all these orders that you're going to fulfill. So what it's going to tell me here is that it processed one order, and 3 could not be processed because you're either out of stock or you don't have a drop shipper set up. So when you do make sure that everything, what this is going to do is all those perfect orders, it's going to automatically create shipments for them. And when you go to shipments here, you'll be able to print these packing lists, create these shipping labels from one screen. And when you create a shipping label, you can send it to, let's see, I'm going to create USPS, and you can decide to print it now, or you can add it to a print queue and then print all the shipping labels at once. So so basically what it does is it processes all those orders that are perfect. If not, it means you got to take a look at this. You may be out of stock or something. And then it creates shipments that you then, create shipping labels for, and you can put them in a queue and print them all at once.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, I think we only have a little bit of time for just a couple more questions. And again, we've gotten a great call from people here on this webinar. This is one of the more highly attended webinars I've done in a while. So thank you all for the questions. If I miss anybody, I apologize, but we'll make sure to get those questions answered for you. One interesting question I did see, how many users can be on Ordoro? I believe what they're referring to is, can you have multiple logins to it?
You can, and there is absolutely no extra cost for that. You can set up as many people in Ordoro as you want. And the great thing about having everyone have their own login is that when you're here, and in many of our screens, you can enter staff comments. And not only does Ordoro generate these this automatic audit trail of what's happening with the order, but if you say, hey, this customer called and was happy, and add that comment, it showed here that I, at this time, added this comment. So if you create different users with different logins, and everyone can, comment on here, you'll know who's doing what work and, who touched that order, basically. So I guess that was a long answer to your question, Henry. As many people as you want.
Awesome.
No extra cost.
Awesome.
Yeah.
One other question that I saw here that was very interesting that would probably be very useful to a lot of our merchants is, since it's an order manager, are you able to export the data? Specifically, they're asking specifically about QuickBooks for their accounting software, but not just QuickBooks. I would assume any accounting software. Is there an export feature for the data?
There is, absolutely. So when here you can either export all of your order information, and we have a couple of different formats that comes in, either the order summary or order details, or you can also export all of your inventory data. Definitely any data that's in Ordoro you can export.
Excellent. Awesome. And just unfortunately time for one last question here. I just had it here in front of me. Bear with me. Oh, I think I already asked that one. Oh, yes, this is the one. Multiple shipments. For example, if you needed to split a shipment, is that possible?
It is possible. So let's see. Okay, so let's take a look at this order. Since it only has one item there, it's going to be kind of hard to split. So I'm just going to go ahead and edit the order and add another item right there. Okay, now I've got two items. Okay, so how would you split this? Basically what you would do is you would create a shipment and fulfill only one of the items, and then you can print the packing list, create the shipping label for that one, and when the packing list will only show that one item. If you select, will only show that one item that you're shipping, and then you go back to the order and you'll see, hey, there's still one of these that's remaining to ship. And what you do is you create another shipment. And here it'll tell you that this one is the one that you still need to ship. And once again, you would print a packing list and create a shipping label. So basically, we have this notion of orders and shipments, and you can split one order, such as this one, into two shipments, two separate shipments. And this is useful when, maybe the order's too big to fit in one box and you need two shipping labels, or perhaps you have one of the items and you don't have another, and so then you can split an order into multiple shipments.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, I think that's about all the time we have. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and I do apologize for the audio issues from earlier. We did record the webinar, and I'll do my best to maybe edit that portion of it out, so if in case you need to review the video, you won't be seeing all that the echoing and stuff. And I want to thank the folks from Ordoro for presenting with us. It sounds like a really great product. I'm actually quite excited with it, especially the fact that it's API based and it's web based and everything like that. It's seems like it's very, very promising, and a lot of our merchants can definitely take advantage of it. So Again, thanks, guys, and wish you all the best.
Thank you, Henry, for the opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity, and everyone, feel free to contact us with questions. Again, feel free to take it for a run with a 15-day free trial. Thank you, Henry, for the opportunity.
Anytime. You guys have a good one now.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.